So, lads, today we're going to be talking about who is probably the most controversial person in the WNBA draft. I think without question, the most controversial player in the draft, and it is Sedona Prince. So, obviously, look, Sedona Prince is a decent player. She's like 25 years old. She's played 7 years in college. She made her college debut when I was 21 years old. I'm about to turn freaking 30. Like, I'm very close to turning 30. And she started college when I was 21. 21 years old. It has been that long. But, yeah, so Sedona Prince. This here, she leans down on Wise's tape around her right ankle after her final game. They lost TCU, and a 7th-year senior sits in a chair and reflects on challenges to overcome. All these, obviously, injuries. Most immediate threat to her basketball career. At least 4... this is the massive thing. At least 4 women have publicly accused Prince of sexual assault or partner violence over the past several months. She unequivocally denied all allegations in social media posts. Her attorney reiterated those denials this week. And look, I mean, even if we're like, look, it's going to be innocent until proven guilty with something like this, especially if it is like making or breaking her career at the end of the day. But I just have to say this. I still don't draft Sedona Prince in the top first 2 rounds anyway. She struggles against any good teams. Against good teams, unless it was a team with no bigs, it's not like... It's genuinely not like she was good. She was good against bad teams. She's very, very good at, destroying bad players, but, like, she's going to be one of the worst centers in the W. Like, she's not a top 2-round pick. Sedona's not been charged with a crime. Rather, she's been convicted by social media people who attempt to use a relationship with Sedona to attract followers. Like, that's mad. Okay, consider she stands at 6'7", taller than all but 6 players in the W with her long arms, quick feet. Did you just say quick feet for Sedona Prince? If you want to see, this is the quick feet of Sedona Prince. Let's watch. Let's watch Sedona Prince get dunked on. Let's watch Sedona Prince get dunked on right here. Ashlyn Watkins just chilling. Sedona Prince struggling down the floor, and let's watch her getting put on a poster. So she crashed out in her final college game, scoring 4 points before fouling out. She was terrible. If she wasn't there, they might have won the game. Prince played 4 years of high-level Division I basketball, averaged 17.2 points, 3 blocks in her final season, was an all-Big 12 center. Yeah, she's 25. She'd be the oldest player drafted in the WNBA since 2023. Someone was chosen at the age of 26. Actually, Lula Pesenisha, I'm pretty sure, was 23 that year as well, but that was just a weird year. She's outspoken and impactful advocate for gender equality. What difference does that make? Like, what difference does that make? I'm sorry. What difference does that make? We are not drafting our fantasy activist teams. We are drafting for basketball. Prince faced backlash from fans, including a petition for a dismissal from TCU. Okay, like, again, the petition, that doesn't really matter either that much. She's never been charged with crime. Okay. Clock is ticking on WNBA GMs who still have to figure out how to balance the good and the bad, the gamble on her size, run for baggage. I'm unclear why it's even a question. One GM said, why wouldn't she be drafted? Said another, I'd say the chips are stacked against her. So certain people are like, oh yeah, she's definitely going to be drafted. And others are like, no, she's probably not going to be drafted. And I stand by this. I can guarantee you the GM that says, why wouldn't she be drafted, won't draft her. Guarantee you that. Guarantee you that. But also, people are talking about this 26-year-old. I have no idea who this is. Like, leaving high school, I just don't care. I just want to talk about this draft. WNBA GMs know that drafting Prince means drawing a crowd. She's 2.5 million followers on TikTok. Famed largely dates 2021. She's playing for Oregon. Prince is preparing to make her first NCAA tournament after sitting out the previous 2 seasons amid the COVID-19 pandemic. They were hosting the women's tournament. And obviously, yeah, like Sedona Prince went viral for, videoing all the ridiculous stuff they had in March Madness. And to be fair, Sedona Prince is a big reason why, is a big reason why it's called March Madness for the women too. Does not mean that she's a good enough basketball player to be drafted. Like, I mean that. Like, what they've over the past year, whatever. I just want to see what GMs. I don't really care about this. I just genuinely want to see what GMs, are saying. In August, a petition. I actually don't care. Will Prince be drafted? ESPN spoke with representatives from 7 WNBA franchises, and several expect confidence she'll go at some point, but where and when? Most mock drafts include ESPN don't project her as a first-round pick, and she will not attend a draft. I mean, how many 6'7" players are there? How many 6'5" plus players that can shoot the mid-range and 70% free throw shooters? And you add 2 more inches, she's an outlier. She sometimes plays smaller in her frame. Yeah, she does. Often avoids contact rather than finishing through it. She draws plenty of fouls and makes it free throws. She's not a top-tier offensive prospect in a physical league that often stretches the floor with bigs and shoot from deep. She's like 100 times worse version of Leroux. I think it's a big difference between players. She can, for lack of a better word, just dominate. When you go up against real size athleticism, she's not able to move as well. She's not able to finish. She's not going to get to her spots. I think that's concerning. Exactly. She's a 24-year-old playing against sometimes 18-year-olds. Humongous gap. She's older than some W players, so it's hard to tell. Are you good at just dominating people that are 4 or 5 years younger than you? Yeah. Obviously, like, look, there is issues there. She is one of the top 38 players who have made themselves available for the draft. If the concern is because the allegations I've asked has it ever kept a men's player from being eligible to be drafted to a sport? I mean, Terrence Shannon Jr. nearly didn't get drafted until last year at one stage. Like, he was projected to be top, and something that he was proven innocent of, as far as I'm aware. He nearly didn't get drafted, to be fair. But if you're good enough, it's one thing. If you're barely good enough, no. Like, you have to be worth. Like, for these teams, for any pro team, you got to be worth the baggage. You got to be worth all this stuff. Like, there is no player that's ever been like a top 20 player in their specific sport that's affected. But like, we live in a world where Kennedy Carter is just people just don't like being around her. So Kennedy Carter, who is 100 times better than Sedona Prince, is not going to be in the league. And people are talking about Sedona Prince being in the league. Like, come on. To be fair about it, and don't necessarily hold it against her, another said, but from an organizational standpoint, you have to be cautious and do your due diligence. Quarterback, yada yada. I can speak for my team. Another GM said when talking about the possibility of drafting Prince, like, we wouldn't touch it, but I think that everybody's in a different spot. Everyone has different information. But where we're at with this franchise, right or wrong or indifferent, there's a risk associated and not a risk on someone. And that's not a risk on someone's character we'd take. The conundrum isn't a conundrum at all for another GM. We have no interest. So, yeah, I'm going to be honest. I don't think she gets drafted. I actually have a weird feeling she does not get drafted. Or she's not going to make a roster. Like, we live in a world, I'm not joking, where Kennedy Carter is just a little bit of a hothead and kind of pisses off her teammates, but is a top 10 player in the WNBA and cannot make the roster. Sedona Prince is not good enough to play in the WNBA, first and foremost. That's the end of this question. She's not good enough to make a roster. Like, she is going to sit on the end of the bench. She's 6'7", might as well be 6'1" when she's playing against players stronger than her. Like, she got, against South Carolina, she looked like she didn't know how to play basketball. Against Texas, she looked like she did not know how to play basketball. Texas backup center cooked her. Absolutely cooked her. Against any sort of size, any sort of athleticism, like, it's clear that she can't compete. And then you have the other baggage. At the end of the day, look, even with all the other stuff, it is innocent till proven guilty most of the time. And as much as people don't want to think that way, like, it is, but from these GMs, there is the headache involved with all the off-the-court stuff. And is she worth the headache? Hell no. Hell no. She's barely worth a draft pick. I'm not joking when I say that. She's not only not worth the headache, she's barely worth a draft pick. And she is 100% not worth a chunk of your fan base turning on you. Just like, obviously, the vast majority of teams did not touch Mason Greenwood. But it's a little bit different because while he was proven innocent, there was recordings of that situation. Like, in a similar way, a lot of fans don't want their team to touch Josh Primo or Miles Bridges. At least there, like, even Primo was a better prospect than Sedona Prince. Sedona Prince isn't even good enough. But anyway, yeah, that's the video. I'll see you guys.